Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Everything Zach back again with another YouTube video. Today we are going to be going over the stock market. As you can probably tell by the title, I was gonna be doing something else, but I was having some editing problems. That will be out later this week or next week. So yeah, we're reviewing the stock market. I just want to go over what I'm looking at for the end of this year into the beginning of next year. Probably one of my last videos of the year on the stock market, so I hope you guys enjoy. But this just a disclaimer, by the way, I'm just a kid. Obviously, it's just opinionated. Also, make sure you guys click the sub button, like, and comment any questions or thoughts you have, because I am learning just as much as any of you that are watching this, and I have just as little knowledge as also anyone may have that's in this stuff. So just want to make that disclaimer. This is just opinionated, and let's get into the video though, because I think there's some very nice technical setups which have been forming within the last few weeks. And we're gonna be really looking at a few specific ones. My GE is not one of them, but this also is not gonna, this is gonna be discluded from any fundamentals, you know, because usually the market sometimes will like to sell off in December. We will find out, I guess, because I think there's something with hedge funds and all those stuff, selling stuff for the end of the year, taxes, etc. So we definitely might see something like that. I don't really know. Obviously, I can't predict the future, but so I'm just talking from a technical standpoint. But first I want to review the SPY and what I think is gonna happen with the SPY upcoming this week. The S&P 500, I think this looks great. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I think this looks great into next week. You know, you have the only down sign about this, really, you do see the Stokes curling down. I mean, that's not a good sign, because now that I look at this, the last time it did this was when we had the big drop, actually. You know, I actually didn't see this. This actually is not a good sign, but obviously it doesn't mean much. It is just a study that can obviously turn back. And the TTM looks alright. But basically, so I really like this because on the sole fact that, you know, it took its little what some people like to call us an Orpex, where it takes a little dip near its high. It does this every so often. Boom, you got another one right here. These little dips, they usually do come down to the 50-day though, which is a bit interesting, because this one is held the 9-day moving average. It's really crazy. I mean, look at the market this last like week, 10% gains from the S&P 500. So it would definitely not be surprising if we saw a pullback to the 50-day, in my opinion. The only thing is, will this happen on Monday? I don't think so. I mean, this looks like a really nice setup. It got the bounce off the 9-day moving average. It made a candle over candle, so it's now showing strength again in the S&P. And it's just funny, because every time it does these little pullbacks, it comes back to the 50. But the market's been on such a hot rally lately. So you just don't know. And it's also in this bit of a wedge right here, and it held that wedge support. So definitely want to see that. If it breaks down, that would be a bit ugly. But that's gonna be something to watch on Monday. I'm personally bullish, and I got actually a lot of stocks to list on here, but the main purpose of this video really was to cover what I think is gonna outperform in the last quarter of this year and the first quarter of next year. And what I'm gonna be talking about is RTY, the Russell 2000 index. Yeah, the mid cap index, small cap, micro cap, basically covers all those companies, the not so big companies, the medium valued companies in the stock market that are public. So the reason I'm covering the Russell 2000 is it just broke out of a very large consolidation period, where it ended up forming a ascending triangle. An ascending triangle, as many of you may already know, and if you don't, it's this pattern right here. It's like a triangle, flat top. It formed this really big resistance line, and it finally broke it. And if you look at this weekly chart, I mean, you're let's just go to the ETF. If you look at this ETF, you're looking at a really strong break, okay? And also, a study I like to use is down here. You guys can see it's called the TTM squeeze. Usually when you see that, the red, that means it's squeezing for a breakout either direction, and it's breaking out top. This is a weekly chart, so this is going to be a long breakout. That's why I like it into next year. I think the Russell 2000 is going to completely outperform the market in the upcoming weeks, months. It has significantly underperformed the market, as S&P Dow Jones, Nasdaq have been rallying. This has been stayed still literally since about January when Biden got in office. Does it have to do with Biden? It actually possibly could have to do with Biden. You don't know. If you're wondering why all of your small cap, mid cap companies have been performing like absolute, well, now you know, because this has been trading flat. Yeah, it hasn't been going down, but still, with it not moving up, all these mid cap, Corsair Gaming eating poop. And a lot of these other companies were eating shit. As you can see, mid caps are following this breakout EMPH. A lot of these companies, Sunrun, and then stopped. It's like all of these mid cap companies. I can go on for days listing them, but it's finally breaking out from the squeeze. So I just think this looks absolutely gorgeous of a break, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more. And it's just the fundamentals to it too. Like I was saying, it's completely outperformed. I think you're going to see a bit of a rotation moving into this, because now, as you guys can see, it did the exact same thing after COVID. It formed an ascending triangle. It broke it. It had a run of around 45%. So people might think, oh, it's too late to enter, but I don't think it is personally. This is a huge, like, 9-month consolidation where now it's breaking. I don't think it's too late at all. You're only 1 week late. And I mean, this one took about, let's see, this took about 10 weeks, 11 weeks to get to its new high. So I think this is definitely a watch for me. And if you want to play this personally, I like the URTY index ETF. It is a 3 times leveraged ETF, and I don't want to trade it. I don't want to buy options on this. And if I were to buy options on the IWM, I would definitely buy them far out, because buying these close would just be really risky, in my opinion. I would go maybe like January, February, because you just don't want that to decay. You know, it's gonna have. That's why I like the ETF idea better with the leverage, because you're gonna be making the profit no matter some down days or not, as long as the stock moves up in the next few months, which is the projection here. So let me know in the comments though what you guys think about this. I just find this really interesting. I really do. And then some companies that I'm also looking at this week, Shopify. This isn't exactly what the Russell was doing, what we were just talking about, but it was in this very large, it had this resistance, kind of like Amazon, but Amazon hasn't broken yet. Kind of an ascending triangle. Yeah, I mean, it is an ascending triangle. And it broke it. It had a humongous day on Friday. Just absolutely look at that. That is crazy. So I personally like this week and the next few months. I think maybe you could see a big break of it. Maybe not though. Maybe not. You might not see a big break. I just think it's something to be watching, because it held that level, so I'm gonna be watching that. Any is really interesting. It has this bullish pennant, and honestly, it's big with this is a big crypto trading company, I believe, or it's a 3D. I thought it was crypto. No, I think it is. They move a lot with crypto, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and it just seems to be lagging while crypto is running this time. So that's why I added it to my watch list, and now it's a pennant. Facebook broke out of its wedge. I still really like Facebook. I just I don't. The chart, it just is a bit wacky. I mean, look at this. It's just very gappy. It's been gapping a lot. But no, I do like it. In fact, I actually just noticed this. If you look closely, I mean, this is a inverse head and shoulders. It's off of the wedge, but you got the head, shoulder. Wow. Okay. I did not see this. I'm going to be looking at some options probably myself for this, maybe in December. Okay, but that's actually very interesting. I did not see that. So I really actually like this. I think it's really funny because I did not see this. There's an inverse head and shoulder with a wedge break, and now it's in this flag. So I really want to watch this week. This could be monstrous. SE, I really like it. It got this could be bad too. Okay, so this could go the wrong way. But SE usually likes to bounce off its bottom, so even if it does keep falling, I think it's gonna have a nice day tomorrow. It did get rejected by actually the 9 and the 21-day moving average, but so this, you could call this a retest to break down. But I just think because it did hold this, I think it looks kind of good. It didn't get smacked down back below. It found support, and this is a nice hammer candle, which we like around here. It's also get a bit of a squeeze right now, but I don't know. It's interesting. You could see it come down. Let me just That's interesting. Yeah, so it has this. I mean, yeah, you definitely could see this breakdown. Beidou, I love Beidou into next week. I mean, obviously this could get smacked down too. It's more of like, if it breaks it, it's gonna be big, and if it doesn't, then it'll just keep going. But like, right now it has this humongous like wedge, you could kind of call. I don't even know what you would exactly call it, but it's got this big resistance line, and it just touched it. And it has some strength coming in now. Stokes look good. The TTM squeeze is looking good. The on balance volume is being back up, and it's liking to make these higher lows and higher highs, which is really good. You know, you can see it here. It started here, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, much higher low actually. It didn't even come down to this line. So I think if you see this break, it's definitely gonna break these numbers, I think. CPE, I saw a cup and handle. You got the cup, so just something to kind of watch. I'm a little bit late, but you could still see a nice run. Amazon, still, I'm so iffy on Amazon right now. I mean, Amazon is just crazy consolidating right now. But the weekly chart and everything, it just looks like it could go either way. It could get smacked down, or it could break out. I'm being patient on this, but if it breaks out, it could be pretty big. You'd probably guarantee see a break to 36.65 area, because that's like where the next resistance is. And then if it breaks that, you can see up here. So like, it just has a lot of run room. And I mean, it's just a huge company. Co-op, I'm bearish on COP. I'm bearish on like the whole gas and oil gasoline industry right now. I personally see head and shoulders here. And it had a ridiculous run, and now there's increased supply, so there's some fundamentals to add here too. But you got the head, you got the left shoulder, and you got the right shoulder, which is usually supposed to be higher than the left shoulder. And now you can already see it, it's kind of filling in. So I want to see, it has a lot of support levels it's got to break though. That's what all these green lines are, but it got rejected off this, so I like that. I'm still bearish on it, and I am holding puts right now. I am holding I'm gonna sell these because I can't be impatient with these, because these are expiring this week. I already went over that. BTU, I really like BTU still, but not maybe not for a long position, maybe for a short position. Maybe some puts if it breaks down, or I would go long if it breaks up, because I still think it could have a nice run. It's just really interesting how this stock is playing out. So definitely something to be on your watch lists, I think. A-Firm is also pretty damn strong. It had a pretty good earnings outlook, and it did have a monstrous day and they got sold off, or it had a monstrous day the next day. So the thing I find interesting, it has a bit of a wedge, but the thing I find interesting is this just reminds me a little bit of Roblox. You get the gap down, almost filled the gap, then you get a huge monstrous day, filled that gap, and then you're seeing the you're seeing a hammer candle play out here, and I'm pretty sure Roblox looked a bit similar to this. And then Roblox had a pop. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of interesting. It had like these huge gaps and huge candles, and then it formed a hammer candle kind of, and then popped. And I just think A-Firm looks really interesting at this level. It's either gonna get rejected off this wedge and fall, or it could break above. I believe I saw heavy call volume. Yeah, there's a lot of call volume on it too. There's like 5,000 for 150, 4,000 volume on the 170 strike. I just think that there's really heavy call volume. And then look at these December ones. I mean, 16,000 volume on the calls. So there's some big call sweeps on Friday. I just think that this could be an interesting play to play out this week. But I think that just about finishes out my video. Again, I was showing you guys some really interesting stocks to look at this week. Celsius Holdings would also be an interesting one. But there wasn't news from what I saw, and it had a tremendous downfall after a solid but not great earnings. I still think this is overvalued personally, but I don't own any. But it's just, I think it's tremendously overvalued. But so you did see it try to hold the support line. I mean, it kind of did. But so you're gonna have to watch that this week. It's definitely gonna be something to watch. But I think that about wraps up the video, guys. Thank you guys so much. If you watched to the end, make sure you guys comment. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, or anything, make sure you let me know. Make sure you also check the description because my links for social media will be in there. And I hope you guys like the video. Also, I am really sorry if this is published this week. I might not publish it, but if it is published instead of my other video, I'm sorry. I was trying so hard. I don't know why I'm having some Final Cut Pro issues right now. I've never had this before, but I'm having some bad issues with it. So I hope you guys understand, though. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Good luck this week.